Detoxifying the father and defying the gods. Thursday afternoons, sitting around the dinner table eating fish and chips after a hard day at primary school, I would watch Ulysses 31 with my younger brother and my dad, because my dad worked nights and my mum was out during the day at her work. I mention this since the much maligned institution of fatherhood is prominent throughout Ulysses 31, and this is where much of the modern so-called toxicity comes in. Ulysses is one of those pale folks from the Western literary canon. How the soy-infused must hate such a cultural phenom. Ulysses is just a load of stuff about masculinity and whiteness being presented as superior to the so-called weirdness of the places visited in the realms of Olympus. All those funky planets must be representative of colonised lands, right? I kid you not. Critical theory would, undoubtedly, come up with a similar tissue of madness. Telemachus, Ulysses' son, is blonde-haired, and he's styled like a mini Alexander the Great. It must be representative of the Nazis, some way, somehow. There are hardly any women in sight. Ulysses gets to go on exciting quests, while his wife sits back on Earth amongst warring princes while preparing a chili pepper lime avocado on toast brunch. But Ulysses is different to most heroes. A thoroughly positive representation of a man and father, though filtered through the lens of a cartoon, enjoyed by adults but made for children. Outside the tightly knitted odd family of Ulysses, Telemachus, Nono and Yumi, you could trust no one in the realm of Olympus, because when lost in space, without allies, where even the gods are against you, family mattered most, and more than this, a family protected by a father. Now, this is not a message we have seen portrayed in media for a very long time. Our bemulleted, high testosterone, fully bearded man Ulysses, fitted with jet belt, laser sword and energy shield, was action hero and action dad. Rushing to Earth to secure peace between warring princes and to return to his wife Penelope, herself diplomatically holding back the tides of possible conflict until then. Not a muscle-bound Chad or Hercules though, Ulysses' Chad days were definitely well behind him. Athletic, verging on cerebral, respect is given to Ulysses by virtue of his experience, achievements, authority, moral example and, above all, courage. He's not a bully, not a meathead. He is more Danger Mouse than Danger Man. Or should I say, He-Man. He is more John Rambo in Rambo 1, sneakily avoiding capture, than John Rambo in Rambo 2, who could take on nations. Ulysses wasn't about ending the Cold War or destroying the gods of Olympus. He frankly couldn't care what the gods got up to in their own parts of space. Ulysses' goal was to protect his people, his crew, friends, family, and to get back home to Earth. First and foremost, Ulysses is a doting dad, the opposite of a self-interested absentee dad, the dads we see and often are nowadays, let's be honest. After decades of a media normalising casual divorce, demeaning firstly fatherhood, then motherhood, the rot has eaten away at the notion of family as a pillar of society. Not here though. Ulysses delays the outset of his mission to throw a birthday party for his son. This is more important to him than spending time with petulant adult princes or watching the Olympics. These events are Ulysses' to savour. Because in an uncertain galaxy, circumstances are only what you make of them. Fatherly to his crew too. Ulysses calls them companions, a reference to Alexander the Great's most staunch soldiers. Ulysses is prepared to take any of the risks he expects his companions to take right from the bat. He went after his son, Telemachus, when the boy was captured and set to be sacrificed to restore energy to the visions of Cyclops' disciples. When first encountering the curse of the gods, it is Ulysses who ventures into the iris of his ship to restore power while the gods engage in a tug of war with his destiny. We are not talking about an overpowered Gary Sue here, outnumbered and outgunned by the disciples of Cyclops. It is Ulysses' companions who take arms, land on the rogue Cyclops planet, and help Ulysses to escape. Later they do so again against the Black Magician. The crew are a mix of men and women, but they act as a brotherhood, sisterhood, brotherhood, let's say extended family, where duty and honour are king. When confronted by Poseidon for killing the god's abominable creation, Cyclops, Ulysses is asked, "Who are you to defy the gods?" And man responds with his firm foundation of morality.
Not even a god has the right to steal a man's son.
Men, lambasted, degraded, put down and blamed for all of society's ills in today's politics and media, are losing their powers to shape the world in the best version of their image. It could be said in the early 80s that manhood had run riot. But, on the contrary, the manhood run riot of the early 80s was a statist manhood born of unions, strikes and consensus politics. Thatcherite Britain, for all its boons and woes, placed family before society. Ulysses 31 did just the same. A rugged bond between a father and son, a bond we find absent in today's representations of masculinity, was the only thing which could defy the gods and eventually triumph. There will always be only one Ulysses.